On holiday, are you, gentlemen?
No, we're architects. Taking a look at some of the local houses.
Ah, that's why you wanted Stoke Moran. I didn't think it was for social reasons. You'll be doing business with Dr. Roylott, then?
Yes, I believe that was the name.
If you don't mind a word of warning, you want to take care with him, sir. There are some round these parts say he's not right in the head.
Really?
Only yesterday, Mr. Thorne, the blacksmith, had a most nasty experience with the doctor because of those thieving gypsies who were camped in the grounds.
Oh, yes, we've heard about the gypsies and the leopard.
The story goes the doctor threw Mr. Thorne in the stream in a fit of uncontrollable temper, and old Thorne, he's not a small man.
Good Lord. Is he bringing a charge of assault?
He were going to, but Miss Stoner, the doctor's young stepdaughter, paid him some of her own money to keep it quiet. Well, that's what I heard.
Well, I never. Do you hear that, Holmes? The more I see and hear of that young lady, the more my admiration increases. Young woman of commendable spirit.
You can pull up here, driver. Who do you mean, Lieutenant?
Well, Miss Stoner, of course. Most admirable. Ah, Miss Stoner.
Splendidly. Dr. Roylott has gone to London and he won't be back before the evening.
But we have already had the pleasure of Dr. Roylott's acquaintance.
Is he followed?
Yes. He turned up just after you left, but Holmes sent him off with a flea in his ear.
So cunning, I never know when I'm safe from him.
Well, then he must guard himself. Or he may find someone more cunning than himself upon his track, shall we?
Holmes, don't you think we ought to get Miss Stoner away from here tonight?
Not an aroused suspicion?
But if he's violent...
We shall be here. So, this is Dr. Roylott's room. This is formerly your sister's. And this your room?
Yes. I'm now sleeping in this one.
Ah, pending the alterations.
Miss Stoner, may I ask something? That's unusual, isn't it? Bedrooms on the ground floor?
Bedrooms were moved downstairs when so much of the house fell into decay.
Oh, yes, of course. How sad.
There seems little need for repairs to this end of the house.
There are none. I believe it was an excuse to move me from my room.
Ah, that is suggestive. Now, Miss Stoner, would you be so kind as to go into the room in which you are now sleeping and bolt the shutters? What are you doing, Watson?
Well, I'm using your methods, Holmes, seeing whether the ground has been disturbed.
Well, what have you come up with?
Your footprints, I believe. And mine and Miss Stoner's. And this.
No one could pass these if they were bolted. Well, let's see if the inside throws any light on the matter. Where does that bell communicate with?
It goes to the housekeeper's room.
It looks newer than the other things.
Yes, it was only put there a couple of years ago.
Ah, your sister asked for it.
I never heard of her using it. We used to get what we wanted for ourselves.
Indeed. You will excuse me while I satisfy myself as to this floor.
It doesn't ring.
It's very strange. A ventilator into another room.
You mean when it might have communicated with the outside air?
That is also quite modern.
Indeed. Miss Stoner, with your permission, we will now carry our research to Dr. Royler's chamber. What's in here?
My stepfather's business papers.
Ah, you've seen inside it, then?
Only once. Some years ago. I remember it was full of papers.
Is there a cat in there?
No. What a strange idea.
Well, look at this.
No, we don't keep a cat.
Ah, well. A leopard is a large cat, after all.
Yes, but a saucer of milk wouldn't go far in satisfying a leopard. Leopard is kept on a leash, is it?
This sort of leash, Watson? What do you make of it?
Well, it's a common enough dog leash, but I don't know why it should be tied.
We have no dog.
Thank you, Miss Stoner. I have seen enough.
I was going to ask if he'd like some tea.
Miss Stoner, it is very essential that you absolutely follow my advice in every respect. Your life may depend on it.
I assure you that I'm in your hands.
Now, in the first place, on the way here, we passed a small cottage.
The shell house?
Would the windows of your sister's room be visible from there?
Yes.
You are sure?
Yes.
Then we shall make it our base.
Some refreshment.
Oh, we shall have dined, shan't we?
Is there a village inn?
The Crown.
Oh, good. Thank you all the same.
Now, Miss Stoner, when your stepfather returns, you must confine yourself in your room on pretense of a headache. Then, when you hear your stepfather retire for the night, you must go to the windows, undo the hasp, open the shutters, and leave your lamp on the windowsill as a signal to us. Then withdraw with anything you may want for the night to your old room. I've no doubt that in spite of the repairs, you could manage there for one night.
Yes, of course.
And now we must leave. If Dr. Roylott should return and find us here, our journey would be in vain.
I believe, Mr. Holmes, that you've already made up your mind. For pity's sake, tell me the cause of my sister's death.
Be brave. If you do as I have told you, rest assured we shall soon drive away the dangers that threaten. Yes.
expecting this to take all night, Holmes?
It's possible. Anything's possible. When a doctor goes wrong, he's the first of criminals. He has nerve. He has knowledge. Palmer and Pritchard were among the heads of their profession. This man strikes even deeper. I really have some scruples taking you tonight. There's a distinct element of danger.
If I can be of assistance.
It's very kind of you.
You evidently saw more in those rooms than was visible to me, Holmes.
Well, I probably deduced a little more. Do you remember Miss Stoner said that her sister could smell Dr. Rowlett's cigar?
Well?
The ventilator. A ventilator maid. A cord hung. And a woman who lies in the bed dies.
I can't see any connection.
Did you notice anything peculiar about the bed? It was clamped to the floor. Could not be moved. Had to remain in the same relative position to the ventilator and the rope, for so we may call it, since it was clearly never made for a bell pull.
I begin to see dimly what you're driving at. We're only just in time to prevent some subtle and horrible crime.
Por